Christianity has given me purpose in life. Hi, I'm Harry, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that. I grew up in a Christian family, and so from a very young age, I had a rough understanding of what Christians believed and what Christianity was all about. Just because you were told at a young age doesn't mean that you're going to believe that forever. In high school, my dad actually took me aside and was like, Harry, you believe this just because we told you to believe it, but you actually have to figure out if this is true or not. You have to find your own faith. And so that actually started a journey of discovery, of trying to figure out, is God actually true or not? Does God exist? I looked at a lot of scientific arguments at the time, stuff like, how can the universe exist without God? How can the universe be so finely tuned for life? At the end of that journey, I came to the conclusion that there was no better explanation for the universe existing than God has created it. One of the things that actually helped convince me was the fine-tuning argument, which is the idea that the universe is so finely tuned for life, like everything is so perfect. The best explanation is that there must have been an intelligent creator who has very carefully designed the universe. One thing I like to look at is the idea of how the first cell originated. When you take a cell, it has a whole lot of different things. It has a whole lot of different features like the nucleus, the mitochondria, the cell wall. It has to have all of those components, and it also has to have a bunch of things. Like it has to have a better than 50% chance of reproducing. It has to have a way to input nutrients and excrete waste. And there's a few other things as well. You take one of those things away from that cell, and it's actually not a cell. It will die and it will not reproduce and it will just completely fail. So the question is, how did that first cell originate? Because the only scientific explanation is it actually had to just pop into existence as is by chance. That is possible. Very, very improbably possible, but it is possible. For me, the most logical explanation was actually that there is an intelligent creator, that God actually created that cell. In light of all that evidence, I decided that the most logical conclusion was that Christianity must be true and that God must exist. Then came the question, what does that mean? And that wasn't something that I understood instantly. It actually took me quite a while to figure out, actually, what is a Christian and what is the purpose of a Christian? That was where I was when I started university. I believed in God, but I didn't really know how to put that into practice. And that was where I actually got involved with a Christian club at university. It was there that I finally understood what actually living out Christianity is like. See, as Christians, we actually have a purpose in life, and God has given us this amazing purpose. We have this amazing good news that Jesus has died on the cross for our sins, and our purpose is actually to be sharing that good news with people. Before this, I didn't have a purpose. It was just live a good life, be happy. That was probably my best calling, is just be happy. But now, I have a purpose. I have a purpose that God has given me, something that actually gives my life meaning, and that is what it means to be a Christian.